Nintendo Switch 2 launches in June with new Mario Kart World game.
Everything we know about Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is without a doubt the biggest Mario Kart game of all time, with 24 racers in these giant, massive open world tracks. You have the classic Grand Prix mode, but now you'll actually be driving to these tracks in between races. There's a new Knockout Tour mode, which is like an endless race, and if you fall below the placement, you'll be automatically eliminated. And what's really cool is there's also a free roam mode where you can just drive around these massive worlds with your friends. There's some really cool new mechanics here, like grind rails, wall riding, and wall jumping. We also see Birdo drive into a truck and then just take over the racetrack, so it seems like there's a lot more going on here. There's also some really fun but really random new racers here. We could see like the cow from Moo Moo Meadows, the Cataquack, Piantas, a penguin, a dry bones fish, a bee, a crab, and way more. It also seems like racers will have alternate costumes. We could see Boo looking absolutely dapper and some cool new looks for Mario and Peach and a ton of others. This game is fully exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 and will be launching alongside it on June 5th. There's going to be a bundle available where you can get the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World digitally. And this is pretty wild, but it seems like for a digital copy, it'll be $80 and a physical copy will be $90, which is pretty wild.
Damn. Pricey, but it looks fun. Pricey, but definitely looks pretty fun there. All right. We'll play, let's look at this trailer. So that looks pretty fun. I think I played Mario Kart on Nintendo 64 back in the day, and it was pretty fun racing against friends. So we got this new game. All right. And I want to show you some pretty sweet connections here that I discovered, okay? So check this out right here. Okay, look, isn't this cool? Look at this. So Mario Kart, and you remember Mario Brothers on Nintendo. I remember growing up as a child. So you have Mario here. Look, Mario equates to 56. You see that? In the ordinal ABC 1, 2, 3 cipher. You see that? That's pretty understandable, right? Mario 56, that's a fact. Okay? 56. And look at the release date. Nintendo has announced a fifth day of the 6-month launch date. 56. For its latest gaming console, the Switch 2, which will introduce interactive chat and screen share functions to connect gamers. You see that right there? You see that? So Mario equals 56, and Nintendo has announced a fifth day of the 6-month launch date for its latest gaming console, the Switch 2. You see? And look at that day. That day is the 156th day of the year. And you also get 56 date numerology. Check that out. So it says that's when the console uh will be released, right? Now, does it say specifically the game? I don't know. But check it out. A 5-week, 6-day span from that June 5th release to the anniversary of the founding of Nintendo, July 15. Check that out. This new release from that day to the founding anniversary of Nintendo, 5-week, 6-day span. Check that out. Okay? How about that? And you see this article from April 2nd there. I can't quite remember why I put that there, but the article's from April 2nd. Okay? You see that right there? Check it out. We're talking about Mario Kart World and this new Nintendo Switch 2 release. Look at this. When you think Mario, you think Luigi. Mangione, look. American man who has been identified as the suspect in the killing of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Thompson was shot to death in New York City on December 4th. Look at that. Luigi Mangione. Is it Mangione or Mangione? But look, he's got the 5th month, 6th day birthday. Check that out. 5-6. Mario and Luigi. How about that? 5-6, 5-6, 5-6, 5-6, 5-6, 5-6. Fake world, right? And there's a new like Minecraft movie trending, isn't there? Another game? And in that breakdown they bring up, or in that article they bring up a Mario movie as well. I guess there was like a Mario movie. It's like, right? What's going on? So that 5-week, 6-day span right there. Look it over on the right. You see how it's the same as 41 days from this Nintendo Switch 2 release to the founding anniversary of Nintendo? The 5-week, 6-day span is the same as 41 days. Nintendo equals 41. And this launches in June. I don't know. So the game just comes with it as it launches, I guess. Nintendo Switch 2 launches in June with new Mario Kart World game. Nintendo really equals 41, y'all. And June equals 14. You see that? The same as a 41-day span. And look at, that's pretty close to 42, right? With the date of the article. You see the article April 2nd. I feel like I put that in there for another reason, but oh, I know. I know because look, 1983, the found Nintendo right here, the NES system, an 8-bit home video game console produced by Nintendo, first released in Japan in 83. That's 42 years ago. So the upcoming anniversary will be the 42nd anniversary. The article, April 2nd, 4/2. I almost forgot. Wow. And even that 42 and the article right there, you see the article, now we're in the 4th month? That shooting of the United Healthcare CEO by Luigi, Look, it was on the 4th day of December last year. Check that out. And even Luigi has 77 like Nintendo Switch 2. Luigi's got 58 like June. This release in June. Nintendo Switch 2 launches in June with new Mario Kart World game. Those 56 are wild. Look at those, are so wild. Check those out. Wow. And even I just think that's interesting. I threw that in there, Mario Kart World. And that's ABC 123 178, Nintendo Switch 2, the next number 179, and that's the same cipher. And it's just the 4 base ciphers, okay? It's just the 4 base ciphers that I use to show you this code. You see reduction is right there. Reduced it J, the 10th letter, and beyond. Straight up numerology. Obviously ordinal ABC 123. You get reverse, Z is 1, A is 26. Reverse reduction, the alphabet in reverse. Reduced at the 10th letter, which is Q. 1 plus 0 is 1. Add up all the single digits. That's it. Look at how the thumbnail hits heavy. Let's see if there's anything else. Let me scan the article. Wow. 56 hits amazingly in this breakdown. Okay? So, oh my gosh, Nintendo has announced a June 5th launch date and a $449.99 $449.99 price tag for its latest gaming console. Holy crap. People are going to fork it out, or parents are going to fork it out, right? Jeez. The Switch 2 will introduce interactive chat and screen share functions to connect gamers. In its 60-minute Nintendo Direct presentation on Wednesday, the company revealed a more vibrant display on the Switch 2, a larger screen, and several games that will launch with the console. Central to its updated system is a new C button on its Joy-Con controller, which will launch a game chat feature that requires a subscription, of course, right, to Nintendo Switch Online service. It allows players to communicate with friends and family while playing a game. Right, you can't just play the game, right? And lets them share their game screen with others. A built-in microphone will also allow chatting with other gamers. When you think about some of the biggest titles on the Nintendo Switch, it's like, and this is a quote, it's like Mario Kart, Super Mario Jamboree, even though that's quite a new title, has cracked the top 10 of most played games on the console. So it does make a lot of sense that the sort of headline feature is geared primarily towards that sort of use, said Hannah Cowton Barnes, a London based video game industry expert for Tech Advisor. Okay. The new portable console features a 7.9-inch LCD screen that displays in 1080p. Nintendo also revealed in the live stream that when docked, the system will be able to support 4K resolution for compatible games. The presentation started with an extended look at Mario Kart World, the console's launch bundle game, which adds a bit of flair to the series with a knockout game mode and the ability to grind on rails, skateboard style, while racing. Damn. Okay. And I'm just looking through the article here. And that's pretty expensive. The Switch's 2, so Nintendo Switch 2 launch price is significantly higher than the original Switch, which had a $299 price tag. A separate bundle that includes the new Mario Kart game will also be available. Again, $499.99. Wow. Of course they bring up the Donald in here. The Donald, leader of the land. His administration's tariffs have hit the video game console industry at a fragile moment, said Joost van Drunen, author of One Up Creativity Competition and the Global Business of Video Games. Okay, the tariffs, he said, impact games hardware because console devices are manufactured and shipped from China and that region at large. Wow. Okay. And one more little piece here I'll mention. Nintendo plans to host Switch 2 Experience events in several countries where gamers can get a hands-on experience with the new system. Those events are planned for cities such as Los Angeles, New York, London, and Paris, beginning this month. Okay? Wow. What do you think, man? It's a lot of 56s to go with the release of this console, the 6th month. Well, we could say the 5th day of the 6th month, right? Wow. So yeah, this one came together nice. Jeez. And Luigi obviously trending. And he's born in Maryland. Maryland's been popping up over and over and over again in decodes lately. So let's play this again.
Everything we know about Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is without a doubt the biggest Mario Kart game of all time with 24 racers in these giant massive open world tracks. You have the classic Grand Prix mode, but now you'll actually be driving to these tracks in between races. There's a new Knockout Tour mode, which is like an endless race, and if you fall below the placement, you'll be automatically eliminated. And what's really cool is there's also a free roam mode where you can just drive around these massive worlds with your friends. There's some really cool new mechanics here like grind rails, wall riding, and wall jumping. We also see Birdo drive into a truck and then just take over the racetrack, so it seems like there's a lot more going on here. There's also some really fun but really random new racers here. We could see like the cow from Moo Moo Meadows, the Cataquack, Piantas, a penguin, a dry bones fish, a bee, a crab, and way more. It also seems like racers will have alternate costumes. We could see Boo looking absolutely dapper and some cool new looks for Mario and Peach and a ton of others. This game is fully exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 and will be launching alongside it on June 5th. There's going to be a bundle available where you can get the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World digitally. And this is pretty wild, but it seems like for a digital copy, it'll be $80 and a physical copy will be $90, which is pretty wild.
Wild indeed. And I'm thinking back when I was younger, it's like, man, 200 sounds more reasonable. But anyways, we're in a new era now. Okay, so that's the breakdown. There's obviously more, but I think I did well there. Nintendo Switch 2 launches in June with new Mario Kart World. I can't remember if it said so the console's like 500 and then the game's separate. They said what, 80 or 90, I think is what they said. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I know when I was growing up, didn't the game come with it? I don't know, but y'all can do a little bit more research on that. I'm just here to give you the decode, right? Shout out to y'all for real. Nice breakdown here. Daily decodes 812. Until next time, peace.